What is going on, people? Welcome to the Midwest Mike Sports Show. I am your host, Mike Klean, and I am joined here by the one and only Midwest Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Not too much, man. Wish we would have ended the week on a better note yesterday, but had a plus week, 4.5, 4.54, whatever it was. Luckily, the Cowboys hung on to cash that 4-unit teaser that we guaranteed, and then the Bruins 2-unit play of the day, but so finished down 2.3 units. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'm happy with the week because it was plus, but felt it could have been bigger. But when you think about it, you break down 4.5 units times 52 weeks. That's damn near 250 units a year. So when you think of it that way, if you're to average that every week throughout the year, that's about what we did 2 years ago. So
Absolutely.
That part's good, but I felt it could have been a bigger week, and hoping this week is obviously bigger than last week. So
yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, the Cowboys yesterday, we were just kind of talking about a little bit, but the Cowboys yesterday, they had their chances, and
yeah, I
Dak
mean,
just didn't
Dak.
capitalize, man. He wasn't. He was just not ready for the game. He wasn't ready for the moment. He just wasn't.
No, throwing that pick in the first half, that was a 3-point swing. They just gave him a field goal, and then that pick in the red zone. I mean, we're talking a 6 to 10 point swing right there. The Cowboys also had, I think, at least 3 chances of picking off Purdy and just couldn't catch the fucking ball. And then that kickoff return. I mean, I don't know why the guy just ran right in the kicker or whatever, but I mean, any one of those things happens and they likely cover.
Right.
So in the end, it wasn't the right read, but I don't know. It was just something goes our way in that game, and they likely cover the game. So
yeah, I agree, man. But it is what it is. Like you said, we're hoping that we could have finished Sunday and been had a really big day. But plus week, it's a nice positive thing rolling into this week. Positive mojo going towards finishing off January here, and I know you're excited about that. So
yeah, we got some nice runs going. 7-3 NFL run. All 3 of the losses happened to be yesterday, which sucks. But 7-3 NFL run for almost 12 units. 8-3 NHL run. 9-4 college basketball run. Weirdly and oddly, NBA has been the down sport here lately, and that last year was my top sport. So
right.
Just got to get NBA going, and I think we'll be firing on all cylinders, man.
Yep. And like you said, the association was your top sport last year. And we're getting to becoming that home stretch in the NBA here. So I'm excited for that. It's going to get going. Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited though, man. I'm excited that things are turning. We talked about it last week. We talked even about it the week before that, about how you're mentally feeling better. We got everything rolling. And this week was the first week that we showed it. We were plus on it. So I'm happy about that. We got Zach Johnson in the house.
What's up, Zach? And we got a 25-unit teaser, or not teaser, futures on the Eagles. So
yes,
that could be big. That could be very big. So
big, man.
I'll probably do a little hedge on that.
Yeah.
I'll probably post that by tomorrow or something. But to at least cover the cost of the ticket here for this first round, anyways. I'm not saying that I'm going to have a play on the Niners. I might even play the Eagles. I don't know. But just as far as a hedge, just for anyone, and that would be just for anyone strictly who has placed the futures bet. If you haven't placed the futures bet, you wouldn't do anything there. But that's strictly just a hedge, regardless of who we like. So.
But we did talk about having that opportunity if we got here. So it's pretty cool
now
that we are here.
2 games away, man.
2 games away, and you placed this damn near close to the beginning of the season. I mean, what was it, week 2 or 3?
It was right after the Eagles demolished the Vikings week 2 on Monday Night Football. It was a day or two after that. So I mean, plus 1,100 odds.
That really is a one hell of a future to be, just 2 games away here. So Excited for that, man. We got Sam Herb in the house. What up, Sam?
And
Good to see you in here, buddy. Good to see you in here. As always, guys, if you guys want to come on the show, if you have any plays, send me an email right now. It's all over our socials, the contact at MidwestMikeSports.com. I can shoot you the link right here as even we're on the show. You can share your favorite play of the day, player prop, whatever you got. We should have Jimmy, who's came on the last two shows. He should be in here at some point. And if he doesn't make it, I will just share the play that he did email in. But we'll give him some time to get on here. But as always, throw in your comments. Any game you want Mike to throw his 2 cents on. If you want my 2 cents on it, I'll give it. I wouldn't advise taking anything I say, but I'll give it. I'll give it. What's the card going to be looking like, though, today, Mike?
I got 2 NHL posted right now. A 2-unit NHL play of the day, and then a 1-unit plus money play. And then but after the show here, I'm going to post likely a 2-unit college basketball play of the day on the Kansas Baylor game, the ESPN game tonight, one of the two. And then I'll likely have another 1 to 2 college plays and likely a 2-unit NBA play of the day as well. So I might have a 2-unit play of the day in each sport. So yeah, like the slate. I'm liking the slate more and more. Yesterday I was kind of like, I don't know, and then diving into stuff, finding some stuff that I like. So that's good.
Right. Yep. I'm excited for that, man. Excited for that. I think Jaden's throwing in here website down. Website's up on our end, so I'm not too sure. How is it for everybody if you guys are checking it? I think on our end,
I just got a message on Chalkboard too saying it was down.
It does that sometimes. Sometimes our provider has like
for a
updates.
minute or something.
Yeah, it's like less than 30 seconds, and then it pops right back on. So just keep refreshing. It is right there.
Seems to be working for me. I haven't posted anything for 3 hours anyways. So
okay. So yeah, everything should be up. Well, as we let people roll in here, man, why don't we talk about the association? Since I can throw my 2 cents in on that.
Okay.
And then maybe we'll get to the NFL games if you want to break those down just early here, because we do have a show also on Wednesday. So again, if anybody wants to come on the show, send us an email, give us your play, and you can get on here with us. I won't mention the game that you were mentioning earlier, but for me, I text this to you. Dare I say, I think I'm just going to start. I'm going to just start this. The dare I say play. Because I always say it. I go, dare I say? And a lot of times it hits. Magic tonight, man. The Magic against the Celtics. I know it's gross and no one would want to do it, but the Celtics have been playing down to the Magic all year. The Magic have beat them outright the last 2 games. And the Celtics are on this massive win streak. They have the Heat on deck tomorrow. TNT spot. Then they got the Knicks on Thursday. And then they got the Lakers, which the Lakers are playing better basketball. And they're on Saturday. So they got a tough little 3-game stretch here to close out January. And dare I say, they're going to overlook these Orlando Magic again, man.
It's interesting. The Magic are getting 90% of the money. And now it's up to -8. It was 7.5. So Magic are getting all the money, and the line moved a little bit the other way. Yeah. Yeah. Boston's getting 10% of the money.
Wow. See, I didn't even check that.
Yeah. So that's the only thing a little concerning to me. Also, injury reports, all that stuff. Robert Williams is questionable. Malcolm Brogdon is out. Smart is out. Isaac's probable. So the Magic are, they're a lot healthier than they were.
Right.
I mean, obviously Suggs has been back now and stuff. It's an interesting one. It's just little surprised to see the Magic getting all the money and the line going the other way, a half point. But
Right.
that's the only thing that I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a little
I
weird
don't
to
like
me.
that
But
too much, but I still think 8 points might be. I mean, yeah, the Celtics could come in here and smack them up with ease. I mean, but for some reason, the Magic play them good, and the Celtics have been playing down to them. I'd have to go in and dig through all the past 3 spots and see, where each situation was with both teams. Maybe it was a total look ahead spot the Celtics in some areas, but
Celtics have won 9 straight.
they've won 9 straight. Last night, personally, I faded. Who was it? My dearly beloved Denver Nuggets without Jokic. I hit the Thunder money line, and that cashed. Hit that for a half unit,
Yeah.
and then I also hit the Lakers, who were down about 20 something in that game, and they come back and end up beating the Blazers. So I hit them money line too. And I was going to parlay it, but I was drinking because I was watching the game with buddies. And I was like, no, I'm getting kook. But if I would have parlayed it, $100 would have paid 20. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent parlay plus money lines. But I don't know. Magic's an interesting spot. Anything else you're looking at?
Just one of the later games as potential NBA play of the day that I talked to you about earlier. Nothing else really right now. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in the Timberwolves Rockets game. Who knows? That could be the game the Rockets win.
Right.
The Hawks Bulls game is a little interesting. Bucks, Pistons, whatever, the Hornets, Jazz, and then you got Portland and San Antonio, and then the Grizzlies and Kings. But yeah, I don't know. That Spurs Portland one could be interesting. Portland just keeps finding ways to lose games, and the Spurs obviously suck. But 8.5 points is quite a bit to lay. But the one thing Portland has been good is when they are bigger favorites, they usually cover. Like the last time they were a 9-point favorite versus the Mavs, they won by 17. Time before that was the Magic, and they lost outright. Time before that was Detroit, and 9.5-point favorites, and they won by 29. 5.5 the time before that, they covered versus Charlotte, won by 11. 7.5 the time before that versus the same Spurs team, they won by 16. So Portland's kind of a weird team. When they are bigger favorites, that's usually when they seem to cover, and when the spread's smaller, they usually don't cover or lose outright. So
Right.
it's a little tougher one, but
yeah, that Blazers team, man. I can't get no feel on them, man.
Yeah, I'm
can't.
looking at that the Memphis Kings game personally. That's the one that I'm interested in. So
I like it. Yeah,
Memphis is
you've liked both of those teams pretty much all year, so I can see why you'd like it.
Memphis, they've lost 2 straight by a combined 3 points. They're getting blown out by Phoenix pretty much the whole game last night. Came back, made it within 2.
Yeah.
And then the time before that, I think Friday night or whatever, they lost to the Lakers by 1. That's with all that drama with Sharp and T. Morant and my favorite Dylan Brooks. Fucking hate that guy. So
yeah. That Hawks Bulls spot, man. It's an interesting line. And
Hawks have been hot,
I just
man.
don't. They have been hot. They have been playing good basketball, coming off a loss against Charlotte. The Bulls, God knows what Bulls team is going to show up. We got our guy AP in the house. What up? Good to see him back
Like
in here.
that.
Maybe Capella, double on that spot.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, Kings are a team that I've been on a lot early on in the year, but before the public and before everyone else kind of realized they were a good team. I mean, we were hitting them way early in the season before odds makers kind of caught up with them, and they're a moneymaker early on for sure.
Yeah.
It's an interesting spot, the Kings and Memphis tonight for sure.
It is. It definitely is. Michael Hill in the house. What up, Mike? He's going to be getting the card today. Fantastic, man. Let's win. Let's win today. Start the week off right. What else we got in here? Okay, let's move to some hockey here, Mike.
Yeah,
we got Austin. Avs been killing it.
Avs have been killing it. I think we were on them the last time they lost. That was against Philly. I kind of expected them to bounce back that game. Didn't happen. And then since then, they've just been on fire. And there was a couple spots after that I did like them, but I just needed to see more out of them first, some consistency, and now they've shown that. So, can definitely see them making a run here towards the tail end of the season here, and who knows, what they're capable of come playoff time. But getting a little bit healthier. It's taken them some time. Their power play was just terrible for a while there, and now that's been one of their bright spots here over the last few games and stuff has been their power play and goaltending and defense and all that stuff. So they look like a completely different team.
Sometimes it works like that, man. It's not like they didn't have the talent. They just kind of moseying a little bit.
Yeah. Well, they're moseying for a while, man.
Switch flipped. It's good. It's good to see though, because they're a good hockey team, and when you can back them, man, you have, you got confidence when you can back a good hockey team. All right, here's one. AP lean Stars first period. Robertson goals.
Yeah, I mean the Stars give up its second or fourth fewest goals in the league especially at home. Then you got the Minnesota native in net for the Stars. He's good, man. Ottinger. He's a stud. Me and AP, we talked about him a lot actually last season. He was very good last season. He was really good in the playoffs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then, he's continued it again this year. He went through a little slump earlier on in the year. But since then, that was actually around his injury time, I think. So I think that had something to do with it. But since then, he's been good. They play Buffalo, who's, they're a high-scoring offense, but going up against a team that's top 5 fewest goals allowed at home in the league and one of the best goalies in the league, it should be tough for them. And Stars have a very good offense, and Buffalo has a shitty defense. So I'm not sure on the whole first period thing and all that stuff, but and I haven't personally dug into it. I can't really do any NHL player props like that, so that's why I don't really dig into them. So I can't speak on Robertson goal, but I definitely lean Dallas to win there. Maybe a parlay piece or take it in regulation, but I personally wouldn't. I just don't lay minus 180 ever, but I'm sure you can get regulation at around even money or something like that. So at that price, probably not a bad look, but
not at all. We got Francisco in the house. What up, Francisco?
What's going on, man? Eric Comrie, he sucks. He's bad. 3-7 goals against Aries. Wow, I didn't know it was that bad. And isn't he around a 2-2, 2-4, something like that? 2-2-5.
I was just looking at him. He's a young guy, man. 24. I mean, unbelievable.
He's from Lakeville, Minnesota, man.
Yeah. 2.2.
2.2. There you go.
2.2 for him. Yeah, hell of a goalie.
21, 7, and 4.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 shutouts over his last 3 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over his last 6 games, he allowed 4 goals once. Other than that, it's been 2 or less every single game. 4 of those 6 games, 1 or less goals. So, guy's a stud.
Yep, absolutely.
A stud.
We're talking about NHL. So Jimmy's pick, I'm still going to give him some time, but it wasn't the NHL. So we might backtrack for him if he does come on. If he doesn't, I will make sure that, I do share it. It's a plus 161 parlay that he's liking. So that's quite interesting. All right, let's get into the NFL. Anything you want to touch on for this upcoming weekend? I know we have the Wednesday show, so we'll go a little bit more in depth on whatever we can share.
Yeah,
but...
I I haven't broke much down. Obviously, we got that Eagles future, so it. I mean, this weekend we'll likely be making money one way or another. Eagles
Mhm.
win, obviously, then we're one game away from cashing the 25 unit futures. So like I said earlier, when I throw that up, that's not intended for everybody. It's only intended if you put in the Eagles future, to put that bet on the Niners, which we can get at plus money, which is nice. It's nice not having, if the Niners were a 2.5 point favorite there, it'd kind of suck to have to lay minus 160, 170,
Mhm.
to hedge. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
nice getting to that plus money there. So that's awesome. Um, and that's because they have the home field. So that
Right.
worked out as good as it could. The Eagles Niners game, I mean, both those games, man, those are like both. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good.
They are.
As you know, I haven't been high on the Bengals very much, but I got to give them credit, where credit when credit's due. And the Bengals, they're the real deal, man. Their offensive line, all that stuff, they held up, played very well. I mean, I think partly Buffalo just played like absolute dog shit too.
Mhm.
So it's easy to get caught up in the perception of what you saw last week, and then
Yep.
bet on that the week after. So you got to be careful of that. But since he looked really good, obviously the whole injury situation with Mahomes and stuff. Who knows? I mean, obviously he's going to play and stuff, but um, how big of an impact can he have? Can he run? I mean, he looked pretty, immobile at times during that last game. So,
He did.
but Mahomes in the pocket is a beast. I mean, so
Yeah. Maybe a
I'm
little
sure
less
they'll,
creativity, but I mean, he could still sling
yeah,
it. Not worry about that.
yeah. But since he's got a good defense,
They do.
so it'll be, yeah, man. I mean, anyone who says they got a huge, strong feeling on either one of these games, I mean, at the end of the day, both these games could go either way. But
Right.
um, maybe more totals. I don't know.
Mhm.
Um, Personally, I was on the over yesterday. There was lots of opportunities for in that Niners Cowboys game. Just neither team could actually manage more than one touchdown.
Right.
Um, I thought we'd see definitely more points yesterday.
Mhm.
Yesterday, the Cowboys defense looked really, really good. I mean, they shut down the Niners for most of that game. Purdy got away with a few throws that could have been picked, but he's been lucky. No teams have really capitalized on his mistakes that he's made like that. So
Mhm.
he continues to look really good. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Eagles are one of the best. I think they're the top defense, versus like number one wide receivers and all that
Mm.
stuff. So um, it's interesting. At first glance, without really digging into anything, I know I have the Eagles' future and stuff, but if there's a team that can beat San Fran, it's the Eagles at home. I think.
Yeah.
Um, just when they're on, kind of like Dallas, when Dallas is on, like they showed during that Bucks game and stuff, and when Dak plays a good game, they look like they can beat anybody too. Dallas's problem has been inconsistency. They have not ever strung together 2 games in a row consistently.
Right.
Um, Hurts, I think, is in contention for MVP. I mean, that guy
Mhm.
is really fucking good.
He is.
It's the whole Purdy thing again, man. It's kind of why I bet against the Niners yesterday, um, at plus 4.5. So, which we got close on, but
Right.
um, I don't know. I'd probably lean Eagles, and right now I may even lean Bengals, which I don't think I bet on the Bengals. I'm not a
Wow.
Bengals guy. So yeah. Um,
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think the last time we bet on the Bengals, it was a gross play because they didn't start the year good, and it was against the Dolphins on that Thursday night game. It was the
that was the
hammer.
only time, and it
I
was
think it
like
was
a
the
10 or twelve
only
thousand
time.
dollar play. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I
That
think
was
the
the
biggest
Dolphins. That
thing,
was a terrible spot for Miami.
terrible,
That game.
terrible spot. I think, as long, we got a question from AP if they're getting any offensive linemen back, the Bengals. I'm not too sure. I haven't looked into that yet, but I mean, we saw their offensive line was their weak point last season, and they made it all the way to the Super Bowl. And here they are again in the AFC Championship. Realistically, the Bills, without Von Miller, never really got any pressure on the quarterback regardless. I mean, they only had 4 sacks out of active playing players throughout the whole season. And now we go to KC, they only have 2 on the whole season, 2 sacks from active players. And I don't know about injuries or whatever, but right now on ESPN, 2 sacks from the whole season.
That was the reason why I was on Buffalo yesterday, because I was concerned about Cincy's offensive line, but I think they kind of took care of those doubts yesterday if you watch the game.
Yeah, I mean, they played, they dinked, they dunked, they screened. Mixon was good. The holes were there, and Burrow got the ball out quick.
Yeah, and Cincy's run game has looked like shit lately, and their run game looked good yesterday. I was just way off on that game yesterday, just all the way around. And the Bills just the Bengals look good, and the Bills look like shit.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll get any of those 3 guys back. I mean, one's got a torn ACL,
Yeah, one
another
guy's
one
done.
re-aggravated an injury, and then the other guy I think has a dislocated kneecap. I'm not familiar with dislocated kneecaps, how fast you can come back from that.
Probably not quick.
Maybe by the Super Bowl if they make it there, because that'd be
Right.
about a month
Right.
from the time that stuff happened, because that
Yep.
was, the Super Bowl I think is February 12th. So you got probably about a month, if not a little over, But I don't know if, I mean, yeah, they need them, but looking at them yesterday, they didn't seem to skip a beat.
No.
Burrow
I mean,
was amazing.
that's what I think. I think they're just so used to it because of the season prior. Burrow's been running for his life for his first 2 years in the league, and then he finally gets an offensive line this year. But they're hurt, so right back to the norm pretty much for
But
him.
Buffalo couldn't even generate any pressure on them, so that'll be the thing that Kansas City, to see what kind of pressure they can generate on him, because that's typically when you see the Burrow mistakes. That's when he
Yeah.
throws interceptions, when he's under pressure, and then it also slows down the run game, makes it more one-dimensional, a lot like we saw during the Ravens game.
Yep.
That's kind of what I was more expecting to see yesterday, but instead we saw the opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens literally, they almost beat them. And if you break down the Bengals, I'm not calling them frauds, but they've been outgained in so many fucking games, and their defense steps up and makes plays. And I talked about that
Yep.
Ravens game. The Ravens game, though, that was more a dumbass move by Huntley trying to stretch out the ball at the goal line and
Right.
fumbling. So, yeah, I give the Bengals defense props there, but Huntley needed to be smarter there. You know what I mean? And wasn't that like second down or something? I mean,
Something
fourth
like
down,
that.
maybe
Yeah.
you do that shit, but not on first, second down, whatever it was.
Yep.
So that was just a dumb move on Huntley. But I think had the Ravens scored a touchdown there, the Bengals would have been in trouble, and they might have lost that game. They might not even have been in the game yesterday. So,
Yeah.
and they've won a lot of close games like that where shit has bounced their way.
Yep.
They've been outgained in so many games. So it'll be interesting to see what Bengals team shows up again here. Because they've had, it might not look like they've had consistency issues, but when you actually look at stats and stuff, they have had consistency issues showing up and doing the same thing over. So it'll be interesting. And it might even be a teaser spot too. I mean, now you could get either team, the Chiefs or the Bengals, at 7. If it's a pick 'em right now, you get either one at 7, and then depending on who you like on the Eagles-Niners game. So
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm sad that my 4-team 13-point teasers are now officially done. I can no longer do those, but I did hit my last one of the year, so I finished the year strong on
nice.
those personal plays. I believe I went 7-1 the last 7 weeks on them, and the only one loss is because I had to put the Bucks in because I'm betting with my heart like an idiot. Exactly what we tell everybody not to do.
I should have done more teasers this year. I did a lot more last year and had a ton of success with them last year, and then kind of got away from them for a while this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we hit the last couple, hit the 4-unit one this week and a 3-unit one the week before.
Helped greatly yesterday. So it was good.
Yeah,
It was
we
good.
needed that yesterday for sure.
And
And then that
one
missed
last.
extra point scared me because
Oh, I know,
they
dude.
scored a touchdown there, it would have been 11, and we had 10 and a half. So
That guy's
that
gone,
was
man.
scary.
He's out of a job. That's for sure. Just the one last thing I want to say on this Kansas City game is I believe a narrative is going to probably be floating around. Patrick Mahomes has never beat the Bengals. Isn't he like 0-9 against them in his career?
I
It's
don't
like
know
never
the
beat him.
exact.
It's like never beat
Yeah.
him. So, I mean, rematch of last year. We'll see.
Well, and the Bengals have been a public team. They've been a public team
Yeah.
because they've been so good against the spread that the public loves the Bengals. They're all over them every single week.
Chiefs, same thing,
I was
though.
like,
Even though they're bad against the spread, everybody rides them.
yeah. Well, I think on this one, there's more money coming in on the Bengals, and that's also why you've seen the line move now to a pick 'em from where it opened.
Thanks.
I think people are concerned, people that don't really dive into shit. Oh, Mahomes is banged up. The Bengals just demolished the Bills. They look unstoppable. It's their year. They made it last year, couldn't get it done, all that kind of shit. But both games are heavyweight showdowns, man. I mean, it's the best of the best in the AFC. It's the best of the best in the NFC, and it's going to be good. And the Super Bowl, no matter which two teams make it, is going to be a good Super Bowl. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely, man. Francisco, he already put in Eagles -4.5 and the Bengals -2.5 at +373. Well, two teams.
So are those alternate lines, or is that where they opened and then? Because the Eagles is, I think, opened at 2 and it's at 2.5. So did you like sell points or something, or alternate line, or
maybe?
I'm pretty sure the Bengals opened at 1 or 2 as well.
Yep. Weren't they? They were plus
Or
though, weren't they?
KC. Yeah.
Yeah, Bengals were plus.
So it must be an alternate line or something.
Yeah. I like it. Austin. Anything look good in college today? Anything you want to give away, Mike?
Well, I'm likely going to have a 2-unit play of the day on the Kansas Baylor game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at a couple other spots as well. Nothing official yet, but I will have a 1-unit free play in college basketball today, for sure.
Beautiful.
But yeah, got a couple. There's a couple. It's a pretty weak college basketball schedule, but there is some good games today. I mean, you got Wisconsin, Northwestern, Duke, Virginia Tech, Kansas, Baylor, and then New Mexico, Nevada. So those are kind of the games I'm looking at. But
love it.
Yeah, nothing official yet, but the 2-unit play of the day I'm close on. I was just finishing the write-up and stuff, so that'll probably be up here shortly. I mean, we can talk about the Wisconsin Northwestern game. It's a little weird because the game was postponed due to COVID stuff within Northwestern's program. But I don't know if Wisconsin should be the underdog here. They're getting 2.5, 3, whatever it's at right now. I think it was 3 and then got bet to 2.5. But it's just a weird situation with the game being delayed. Both teams now, were able to rest more, but who knows how many guys were affected from Northwestern, how many were sick, how they feel now.
Right.
I mean, we don't know any of that stuff. But Tyler Wall, it also has given him some extra time to get healthy, to get healthier. So that's a plus in my book for Wisconsin there.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably lean Wisconsin in the points there, but just
Sure.
a lean. Let's see. I mean, Wisconsin had dropped 3 straight, then they beat Penn State, which we were actually on Wisconsin -3 their last game and ended up pushing. They lost to Indiana, Michigan State, and Illinois before that, which is pretty understandable. I mean, those 3 teams are just better teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then Northwestern's coming off a couple losses to Michigan and the Rutgers. They did beat Illinois and did beat Indiana, and obviously lost to Ohio State. So it's an interesting one. It starts a little early. Tip-off's at 5:30 Central Time. I don't know if I'm going to touch that one. more intrigued in the Duke Virginia Tech, the Kansas Baylor, and the New Mexico Nevada. But tomorrow will be a huge. Every Tuesday is always Super Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Huge college basketball slate. A lot of good games tomorrow. I mean, there is tonight too, but just a ton more, obviously, games to go through and stuff tomorrow. But
Yep. Cool, man.
so yeah, I would anticipate. I got 2 NHL posted. Likely have a 2-unit NBA play of the day. I got a 2-unit NHL play of the day posted, and then I'll likely have a 2-unit college basketball and a couple 1-unit plays, and then one of the 1-unit plays will be today's free play, 7-3, 70% in the last 10 free plays. We dropped yesterday's, but 7-3 in the last 10. Look to go on another run on those here this week. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So look for that video when it comes out. Should be shortly after the show. All right, let me share Jimmy's pick since he did take the time to at least email in. I don't know if he's just not going to be able to join us today. That's okay. All right, so his favorite pick was the Leafs money line with the Sabres. I'm thinking money line.
no, it's Leafs money line and the Sabres Stars over 6.5.
Oh,
That's his
Sabres.
2-teamer.
Oh, okay. All right, I gotcha. Saber Star over.
So it's a
6.5.
2-teamer at plus 160 something or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean that Leafs game. They play the Islanders. Islanders are 1-8 in their last 9. They've lost 5 of those 8 by 2+ goals. Toronto's 5-2 in the last 7 head-to-head. 4 of those 5 they won by 2+ goals. Islanders have scored 15 goals over their last 9 games, averaging 1.66 goals per game. Toronto's coming off a loss to Montreal, but the Islanders have just been bad. I'd also maybe lean the under there too in that Maple Leafs game. Islanders have not done shit offensively, but they do have a really good goalie. So I think the over-under was opened up at 6.5. It's at 6 now, and it's slightly juiced, maybe minus 115 towards the under there. But yeah, I mean, even if the Leafs win 4-1, something like that, the under obviously still cashes. And I think the last 5 head-to-head, if I'm not mistaken, have all been like 5 or less goals. So if I'm not mistaken. So the Islanders have been one of the worst offensive teams here lately. Just fucking brutal. I mean, when you're averaging about 1.5 goals per game over the last 9 games, that's pretty bad. So it's tough to win games.
Yeah.
No.
That's for sure, man. It's tough. It's a hockey team that's been playing halfway decent besides the game I went to is the Blackhawks, man. Where are they coming from?
Yeah.
What's going on with
Blackhawks?
I know. They
got beat
hurt
last
us the
night
other
by
night.
The Kings. They broke their little mini streak last night.
Little mini streak.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Mrazek, however you say his name. I mean, he's just complete fucking ass. I mean, they've had some injuries. They've had some injuries at goalie too.
Yeah.
That Alex Stalock's been out. But that Peter, man, I think he gets paid almost $4 million a year, and he blows. He's bad.
He's not. Yeah, he's not doing well. The Hawks as an organization's not doing well, but we'll see.
But I think that Blues game that cost us a parlay, the game before that, Binnington gave up, I think it was 3 goals or something or 4 goals. I think he gave up 2 and then 2 in the second or something. And it was literally off like 6 shots. So I don't know if Binnington just had one of those off nights or what, but I mean, he got pulled in the second period. So
yeah,
I didn't see the first 2 periods, I was watching other games, but maybe they benefited that game just from fucking Binnington just having an off night or something. Because for them to have 6-7 goals or 6-7 shots on goal and have 4 goals is a little fucking weird. So I mean, that's like what happened to the Blackhawks when you went to the game with Seattle. Is they had 6 goals on 7 shots, I think. So
yeah, that's what it was.
Sometimes it's weird shit like that happens. The goalie just doesn't have it,
Yeah, it happens, man. Yeah, I'm holding on to my last few games of Kane and Tays being in Blackhawks uniforms, so it's been nice to see him string along some wins. But All right, that pretty much concludes today's show, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Mike, you got any closing notes?
No, we'll be back Wednesday. If you want to bring on a play Wednesday, email in. I'll dig into NFL more and stuff, and we'll talk about those games a little more in depth like we did last Wednesday. But other than that, a couple plays posted, more coming. I'll have a free play coming. Let's just have a day. Put together another plus week and just keep rolling here. So
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Jimmy, thank you so much for sending in your play. I hope it cashes for you, man. Like Mike said, if you guys want to be on the show on Wednesday, bring the heat. Bring a play on, send you the link. You could jump on for a couple minutes. You guys saw how we were doing it last week. So please do that. Thank you so much for watching. You guys make the show what it is. As always, invest wisely and live freely.